beautiful shining stars. Welcome back to the first video of 2024. I wish all of you a year full of success and all your heart's desires. Thank you for being wonderful supporters of the channel, and I hope that you will have many, many, many more relaxing moments with me throughout this year and beyond. So let's jump straight into the video. Today I'm chewing on Big League Chew Swinging Sour Apple. And I must tell you, it's making me really thirsty, so I hope you don't mind, but I've got my little water bottle. It's a little open, and it matches my chewing gum. So I hope you don't mind. I usually don't drink on camera, but I'm so thirsty. I've got the fire going, so it's extra cozy, and I feel so toasty. And I thought it would be the perfect ambiance for this little bit of a ramble, or like a story time kind of vibe. And I'm sure you're all thinking there's something different about me, and you're not wrong. Let's see if you can guess it. Guess it, guess it, guess it. Yes, correct, you're right, you're right, you're right. It's my glasses. I'm wearing glasses today. I'm wearing glasses. I forgot to put on nails. I wanted to do some glasses tapping, but it's okay. We'll dedicate another video to that. And right now, I just want to chit chat a little bit. But I am wearing glasses just because my contacts were annoying me, and I just felt like being casual today. And it really goes with the outfit, so bonus. Anyway, I thought it would be really fun if we could do like a little ramble / story time about some funny stories and funny things that transpired when I moved to the US and when I was on holiday here for the first time. So I had to do a bubble test to make sure that we're gonna get some decent bubbles. But anyway, this is about the difference between American English and South African English. Basically, as you know, in South Africa, our mother tongue is English, and also it is in the US. But for some reason, there are some words and some ways of saying things that are different. One word in the US could mean something completely different in South Africa, and it can really be funny and confusing, and so I thought I'd share those stories with you. But first, get some snaps in there, because once I get talking, you guys know, once I get talking, I get sidetracked, and I might forget to blow some bubbles, or do some snapping or whatever. Okay, so the first story begins when, let's move the hair out of the way so that when a bubble comes, it won't get stuck. Okay, the first story begins on my first holiday to the US. The first time we had ever set foot in America, and we didn't know about the differences in the language, and so we landed in New York. In JFK, obviously. Excuse me. I hope you didn't hear that. At the airport, JFK airport. And from there we were like really hungry. We had just traveled for so many hours. And we just wanted something quick and easy. So we thought, okay, well, why don't we find like a McDonald's or whatever? And so we put it in the map and we drove and we eventually found a McDonald's because my little son at the time didn't eat anything else, like in terms of fast foods or like a quick meal. And so we ended up at the McDonald's. We order our meals, just plain burgers and chips and ketchup and what have you, all of that. Eventually we're sitting there eating our burgers, having a good time, laughing, and one of us happens to get ketchup or tomato sauce, as we call it in South Africa. There's one difference. We got that all over ourselves, obviously, and we needed a napkin. So we go up to the lady, we go up to the counter, and we asked the lady, "Hi, can I have a serviette?" And she turns around and she's like, "Can I serve you what?" And I'm like, "No, can I please have a serviette?" And she was like, "No ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you looking for? What can I serve you?" And I'm like, "No, a serviette, something to clean my face with." And she's like, "Oh, a napkin." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And she's like, yeah, I think you need a napkin." So I was like, okay. And she pulls up these napkins and what we know as serviettes. So we were like flabbergasted that, why do I keep making this noise? That this lady didn't know what a serviette was. So eventually we were told that no, in America it's known as a napkin. But to us, a napkin is a cotton or material serviette. So a napkin to us is like a fancy serviette that you would find at like a restaurant or something like that. You know, something made of material. So that was our first learning curve of a serviette versus napkin. I'm gonna pause every now and then just to blow some bubbles because when I get talking I can't blow bubbles at the same time. I must admit, this flavor is not great for making bubbles, so maybe we'll just keep it at like a snapping, kind of chewing ramble. I know you're here for the bubbles, but we'll make it work, okay? So the next story, we were still on, then we had moved to the US and we decided to try KFC because we wanted to see if it was different to the one in South Africa, because the McDonald's had tasted very much different to the one in South Africa. So we decided, okay, let's test all these different places. So we end up walking into the KFC and we look at the menu and we decide, well, I don't think we looked at the menu because we know what we wanted. And so we go up to the lady at the counter and she says, "Oh, how can I help you? Welcome," all of that. And we're like, "Hi, can we get like 3 chicken burgers and fries. And then she was like, we don't do burgers. And we were like so confused. And she was like, and then so my mother-in-law says to her, well then what is that? Pointing to the chicken. And then the woman behind the counter was like, it looks like chicken to me. And so we were like, okay, so what do you call that in the picture? And she was like, that is a chicken sandwich. And I'm like, okay, that looks like nothing like a sandwich to me, but okay. So we ordered 3 chicken sandwiches with fries. And we decided never to go back to that KFC because that woman was so freaking rude. And that just put us off KFC, just the customer service and the way that we were treated was just ugly. And so we decided not to have KFC anymore, so we never went back. And we discovered, we learned that a chicken burger is called a chicken sandwich in America, whereas to us a chicken sandwich is chicken between sandwich bread, like a sandwich that you eat like with square bread. In South Africa, everything to us is a burger, but if it's like a fish burger or a chicken burger, we call it a chicken burger. Like depending on what's on the bun is what it will be called. So like a chicken sandwich is a chicken burger. A burger is a burger, a hamburger or a burger. A fish sandwich is a fish burger. But a sandwich, if you tell us you're eating a sandwich, we'll automatically assume that you're eating sandwich bread. So that was so confusing. That was like, what on earth are you talking about? Anyway, it took us a while to get used to that because every time we would see chicken sandwich on a menu, we would like doubt ourselves, like, is that a sandwich like we know it to be? Or is it a burger like we know it to be? So eventually we got used to calling it chicken sandwich, and so now we know the difference. And then it's so funny, but let's take a moment to pause to do some snaps and some bubbles. So the other funny story, I'm just gonna go and replenish my, so we were at my sister's, well, my sister-in-law's friend's house. We were at my sister's friend's house. I keep saying my sister. My sister-in-law's friend's house. I just feel like a get together for family and friends, and we're just gonna have a chilled game night with like a little barbecue. Also, what we know as a braai. To us, a barbecue is a braai. We don't call it barbecue. Barbecue to us is a flavor. My throat keeps making noises, oh my god, I hope you don't hear them. But I'm also not gonna make so many cuts in the video. So we get to the friend's house. We sit down, we ask us if we want to have something to drink. My sister-in-law says yes please. So he comes to her and she pours her some wine. So he's going down the line pouring some wine for each and everyone, and he gets to me. It's not my turn to like either say yes or no to the wine, and he asks me, so can I pour you some wine? And I'll say no thank you. No, I don't say no thank you. I said I'll have just now, thank you. And so I said, oh okay cool, and he starts pouring the wine. But what I meant was I will have later. So for us, just now or now means in a little while. So I'll see you now. I'll see you just now means I'll see you in a little bit of time. Or like I'll do it just now, I'll do it now means I'll do it in a little bit. So obviously he didn't know that, and he started pouring the wine, but I didn't want it at that stage. That's why I said I'll have just now, but he thought I meant like now, because in America just now means like now, just now, the second, but to us it's not. I'm sorry if my swallowing is obnoxious, but I'm so thirsty. This gum really takes it out of me. Okay, so now you know that a braai is a barbecue, and napkin is a serviette, and a chicken sandwich is actually a chicken burger to us. When we say airtime, I need some airtime for my phone, we mean minutes, like on a pay-as-you-go phone, like a, you know, like not a contract phone. And then we call a traffic light a robot. So we also call a traffic light, like when we're writing a learner's test, but in everyday speech we call it a robot. So the one time I was talking to a friend here in the US, and I said, okay, so if you stop at the robot and you turn left, she was like, wait, what do you mean, which robot? And I'm like, you know the robot there on such and such a street? And she was like, no, I don't know any robots on that road, like what are you talking about? Like, are you crazy? And I was like, what the hell, are you insane? Like, don't you know? And she was like, what do you mean? I was so confused. And anyway, it turns out that they don't, like the US doesn't know what a robot in that sense is. So in South Africa we call traffic lights robots. And I think it's because of the colors. I don't know. It was so funny. And then there was something else, but I can't remember. I should have written it down. There was something else. I told you about the airtime. Ketchup is tomato sauce to us. Cubbyhole. So to us, a cubbyhole is a glove box. But when I was doing my premiere here on YouTube on one of my videos, one of you said something about a cubbyhole, and I said, oh wow, so you know what a cubbyhole is. We also call it a cubbyhole. Meantime, they made like a small space. A cubbyhole in the Midwest is a small space. I thought they meant a glove box because to us in South Africa, a glove box is a cubby hole. So that was so interesting. And just the way we pronounce some words like they, hey, and you guys in the US say here and there. We say hey and they. And some people think that we're like pompous or like posh. Like, I don't know, like I've been told that like I sound like I want to be posh, and I'm like, that's my accent. Like, what do you want from me? I tried to speak in like a fake American accent, and I sounded so dumb. Like, not because of the accent, but just obviously it's not my accent. I sounded so stupid. I sounded terrible. Like, some people are so good at doing accents, but I can't do it. Like, I just sounded terrible. I sound like a wannabe. And what else? Like, what else? There was something else. There's some other stuff. And then we call, what do we say? That might be it. I've been rambling and rambling. I think that's all. Those are the funny moments that I had. They were so funny in the moment. You had to be there. So also we don't use, oh here's another story. So I had a ring that needed to be resized, and so I phoned the jeweler, but she wasn't answering, and so I had to leave like an email or something. So I said, are you guys open at 2 p.m? But instead of saying 2 p.m, I said 1400 hours. And the woman was like, oh, I'm so sorry, what does that mean? Like, what time do you want to come in? What is 1400 hours? And I was like, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. And she was like, oh, okay. So she's so sorry, they don't use military time. And I'm like, what do you mean military time? That's just like, what do you mean? And so we found out that in the US you say 2 p.m, 3 p.m, like with the actual number, like 3, 4, 5, and you specify p.m, like p.m and a.m. But for us in South Africa, we use military time. Like 2 p.m would be 1400 hours, 5 p.m would be 1700 hours. So that was also a lot of getting used to. Also, in America, you don't say 2:15, you say 2:15. We say 3:30. You guys in America say 3:30. 3:30. So there's lots of little things that take a lot of getting used to when we speak the language. Yes, it's English, but the things we say, how we say them, it's all very different. So it was really fun and funny to learn all these different ways of speaking in the US versus South Africa. And what else can I tell you? I think that's everything. Let's take a quick hope you had just as much fun with me as I had with you. See you in the next video.